Jain community held a protest across several parts of the country today against the Hemant Soren-led Jharkhand government's decision of declaring Sammed Shikharji as a tourist place. Now, Sammed Shikharji, located in the Parasnath Hills in Jharkhand, is a sacred pilgrimage site for the Jains. Delhi's India Gate, which draws tourists on the 1st of January, saw a massive protest of the Jain community today. Vedant is now joining us with more details on this. Vedanta, what are the protesters ultimately saying? Who is going to address this concern of theirs? Because this decision has been taken by a state government.
That's right. Just to give you a bit of perspective, in Delhi, remember the community had congregated at the Pragati Maidan and they started marching towards the presidential palace. And, you know, the protesters, of course, saying that the Jharkhand government's decision would, in a sense, is in a sense disrespectful to the Jain community's historical sacred sites. And that's what they've been saying. It's something that they continue to say since the time the decision was announced. In fact, they say that the Jharkhand government's decision to turn the Tirthraj Sammed Shikharji into an ecotourism spot is something that almost amounts to blasphemy. Remember, last week the Union Environment Ministry also wrote to the Jharkhand government asking it to consider the voices of the representatives of the Jain community for amending the notification of the eco-sensitive zone, and that is something that the Union Environment Ministry also said. Now, the protests that are happening in Mumbai, at least 50,000 people from the Jain community, in fact, carried out protests in Mumbai. Those protests demand a ban on the illegal mining and sales of illicit liquor in Palitana in Gujarat. That city is also considered as a sacred place by the Jain community. So, of course, the Jain community says that we are protesting not only against the Jharkhand government's decision, but also against, the vandalization of the temple in Palitana and, the sale of illicit liquor there. So, of course, they are saying that their sentiments and the sentiments of their community are not being recognized. So, these are two separate protests, but, of course, in the larger sense, it is being seen as a mobilization by the Jain community to assert their demands.